It's another cloudy start to our Friday morning. We're looking live outside where things are still continuing to show a dense amount of clouds along the immediate coastline. Those clouds aren't stretching too far inland, so it means that we likely won't have as dense of a marine layer for the morning and then late morning hours going into about 10 a.m. or so. Looking at the next 12 hours, you can see how those clouds are expected to break apart closer to about that 9 o'clock time frame. And then it looks like by the time we get to about 1 p.m., 2 p.m., we'll see plenty of sunshine in the mix. Temperatures warming up to the mid 70s. A couple headlines that you should know going into the weekend and early next week. First things first, warmer weather this weekend, mainly inland. You're going to feel that climb from the about mid 80s this afternoon to the low 90s by the time we get to about your Saturday and Sunday. Your afternoon highs on Saturday and Sunday are going to reach their peak as this ridge of high pressure builds overhead. And it looks like the marine layer and sea breeze keep your coast a lot more mild. So the combination of the two tends to keep us in that more mild range, the cooler range, and that's going to be the case going into this weekend as well as early next week. While your inland valleys are mainly in the upper 80s and low 90s, we've got your coastline sticking with mainly low 70s, maybe mid 70s at that. Last thing to note is that there is an uptick in humidity and some high-level clouds, mid-level clouds as we go into the middle of next week. Still pretty far out to know exactly how it'll look, but it does give us some indication that we could start to run into some more monsoonal moisture. So wet weather, possibly. Our probability of precipitation jumps up to 10 to 20%. That is not all that significant, and it also is still several days out. So just something to keep an eye on. As you look outside right now, we're cloudy. Temperatures are primarily in the low to mid 60s, but you look at Oceanside right now, it's 68 degrees, a little bit warmer up there. 64 in Escondido and 63 in Poway. Over the next several hours, we'll keep that warm up going. Coastline stays in the 70s, 80s inland, high of 85 for Escondido, 87 for Ramona, 86 in El Cajon. Up north in Fallbrook, we're looking at a high of 81. And then between today and the weekend, we keep the warm up going. Possibility of some low 90s in the mix for your Sunday along your inland valleys. As we go into the early portion of next week, temperatures do start to cool down, but we see some clouds along the coast and inland. And then we also see those clouds start to build Tuesday and Wednesday for your mountains and deserts. That's where we run into that indication of more monsoonal moisture in the mix. So temperatures will cool down, but they'll stay really moderate going into the middle of next week. The time to watch out for is this weekend. Make sure to keep the water on hand, the sunscreen, check on your neighbors, find a cooling center. You know the drill as we start to warm up here in these summer months.